Hey, welcome everybody. This is Marcel Ernie Racing. We're talking about the NEWS here on CensorTube. Tucker Carlson, I'm actually rendering the full 2-hour interview right now. But of course, you can go watch it anywhere you want. But Tucker Carlson's on Twitter already has 32.5 million. Now, I watched it on Tucker Carlson's website, and there's no number on that. But on X, 32.5 million views. He only has 11.9 million followers. So he's already got 3 times the amount of followers, guys. And the deep state media is going nuts. They're trying to get the UN to sanction him, to prevent him from travel. He's now on the kill list for Vladimir Zelensky's Ukraine. I watched the whole interview, and it was excellent. And in contrast to Biden, who can't remember what he ate. Well, I don't know if I can remember what I had for breakfast, but significant things. Biden can't remember when his kid died, as an example. Biden thinks he's talking to people who are already dead yesterday, who are dead 20 years ago. Let's get into that report before we go with the Tucker comments, guys. On Canada's own propaganda site, CBC, diminished faculties, faulty memory, significant limitations, a damning report in Biden's mental state. But the hilarious part about it is, because he has no mental state, he's been exonerated legally for having classified documents, just lying around, whatever. We'll go into the little story and we'll jump back and forth. A winch-inducing report has just made it that much harder for the U.S. President Joe Biden to quell concerns about his age as he seeks re-election. Can you believe it? That the Democrats have no better option than to push this senile leader, so-called leader, as their only option to move forward. It's just like the liberals. There's nobody to even replace Trudeau because everybody is it's incompetent party. There's no person that's not competent. There's no person that's competent. They're all incompetent. And the same thing goes with the whole Biden administration. That's what these Democrats or liberals do, is they make their party worse over time. And so they included Biden struggling to remember what year he was vice president and being way off when discussing the year of his son's death, like I mentioned earlier. This report landed in the midst of unflattering headlines that the president has been referring multiple times to recent conversations with long-dead world leaders. One obvious silver lining is the 345-page report is that special counsel Robert Hur refused to lay charges against Biden for improperly storing classified documents in 3 locations. So, yeah, he's absolutely senile. The deep state doesn't really make any... We all know this. He doesn't make any decisions. The deep state makes it, and he's just a dead face. So, back to Tucker's video here. Let's take a look at some of the comments, guys. 33.1 million. Did it just jump up? Putin speaks tremendous detail with an encyclopedic knowledge of history. And when you watch the interview in the beginning, he goes over all of the history, like right from his memory. Babylon Bee, journalists confused by journalists doing journalism. Absolutely. That's hilarious. And advertisement. And then here's Andrew Tate. Well, we got some controversy around Mr. Tate himself. Putin was soft. He could have ripped American society apart. The whole interview felt like playing my dad at chess. You don't know why the master moved the pawn. And by the time you found out, it's too late. So he's throwing a rhyme in there that has really no relevance and doesn't give any information about his personal opinion. The final nail in the mainstream coffin. And Benny Johnson, this will be good. Tucker may literally bring peace to the world with this interview. Lies create war and slavery. The truth shall set you free. And the Vigilant Fox, another good one. Putin confirms the United States is not run by its elected officials. Here's a quote from Tucker. So twice you've described U.S. presidents making decisions and then being undercut by their agency heads. So it sounds like you're describing a system that's not run by the people who are elected. Who are elected in your telling, end quote. Putin says, quote, that's right, end quote. And I remember this in the interview. There's so many parts that we could delve into. It'll really become quite interesting. Let's keep going, guys, with some of my people here. Desire, who appreciates Tucker? February 8th, Fox News. Thank you, Fox News. Thank you for firing Tucker Carlson. Ha ha ha. I said this yesterday. damn themselves for firing him. Truth, justice. In the Vladimir Putin interview with Tucker Carlson, Vladimir Putin talks about the coup d'etat in Ukraine, which involved Joe Biden, George Soros, the CIA, and of course Victoria Nuland. The truth is being hidden from the world. All right. And then he's throwing up a video. Here we got Dave Benner. Isn't it crazy how the regime goal in Ukraine was always the same as the goal in Afghanistan? To wash the money. Next one, Tucker Putin interview is going to break the fake news narrative pushed by uniparty global American empire warmonger, Ukraine money laundering, bioweapon manufacturing, human trafficking, military industrial complex global scumbags. Next, Team USA. Thank you for doing this interview, Tucker. You're a real journalist. Jen Kraft, Somali girl with long hair wearing a crochet dress vacation. What the hell is this? Let's move on. Here's Bad Hombre. Let the synchronized meltdown begin. And then you got Tucker in the middle laughing. And then you got, oh yeah, the whole Democratic squad, including Zelensky. Another quote from Vigilant Fox. Putin, quote, "It was they who started the war in 2014. Our goal was to stop this war, and we did not start the war in 2022. This is an attempt to stop it." Putin identifies the coup and overthrow of the Ukrainian government in 2014 as the initial provocation that sparked the conflict. Quote, "The CIA did its job to complete the coup, but the political mistake was colossal," end quote. Another quote, "We did not agree to NATO expansion, and moreover, we never agreed that Ukraine would be in NATO," end quote. This is a good one. Vladimir Putin just spent 30 minutes going over the last 1,000 years of history of Russia and Ukraine in detail without notes. Joe Biden can't remember when his son died. God help us. This is hilarious how it relates. Next, is Tucker Carlson a traitor or just doing his job? There's like a poll. 93% for 7% a traitor. Paul A. Schwupa. Congratulations to Tucker on this historic interview of Vladimir Putin. The fact that so many in corporate media opposed Tucker doing this interview means he did the right thing. You might not like Putin, but he's more honest about U.S. politics than U.S. politicians. Next one from Liberal Crat. No truer words have been spoken. Why would I attack America? You already have Democrats for that. Oh, yeah. A good meme. Next one, Lex. 2 hours looking. I have many follow-up questions. Yeah, so it's a long interview, guys. If you're on the Tucker website, though, he breaks it down in the sections, and maybe that's what I should have done with my video, but it's rendering. Here is CNN having a romantic interview with Zelensky. No tough questions.
The people, our staff.
Oh my God, into the music. We need more honest journalists like you, Tucker. Thank you for standing. Here's a comedical joke. The thinking about the backwards way of thinking. Here it is. Crazy. I listened to Putin say words and I didn't immediately become a terrorist and want death to America. Weird. Maybe I was doing something wrong. I was told this was dangerous. Oh, hilarious. It's dangerous to listen to information. Or people's opinions you don't agree with. The hypocrisy is mind-blowing. And I already did this post earlier. Treason for Carlson and journalists for others. Thank you, Tucker, for asking critical questions while conducting a fair interview on equal footing. Mainstream journalists could learn a thing or two from you. Tucker walked so every journalist can run. Next one. I didn't sign up for a Russian history lesson. I was promised screaming and yelling from an unhinged warmonger. Joey says, I'll take Putin over Joe Biden any day of the week. Putin is Russia first, which is what the leader of a country should be. Biden has decided to put the nation he leads in absolute last place on his list. We fund Ukraine. We fund the entire continent of Africa. We fund Latin America. We house illegals. And for our own people, we do nothing. Meanwhile, Putin puts the people of his nation first, despite running the country with a bit of a strong fist. That's fine. I'll take an iron fist over a weak-kneed fool like Joe Biden. So glad Tucker did this interview and gave us the opportunity to hear the perspective of Putin. And for those actually watching, not just listening, you got a little meme of Putin in a suit and glasses. Kind of looks like James Bond. Putin is not our enemy. Next here from Wall Street Apes.
Президент Российской Федерации Владимир Владимирович Putin.
Here's a video of Putin. We are fighting a spiritual war between good and evil. His people love him. Listen to every word of the speech. And yeah, it just shows he's outside, and for people just listening and, shaking hands in front of an entire football stadium full of fans with the Russian flags. Here we have Elon Musk 2 hours ago replying to Tucker Carlson. You deserve an award for this amazing work. Thank you. Well, I'll add to that 3,418 hearts. Oh, let's look at the comments on that specifically, guys. From Elon Musk, 189,000 views on that comment to Tucker from Musk. Great, thanks to Elon and Tucker. Yes, thank you, Lord. We have a chance to listen to the side of Putin. He's just human that's willing listen to every leader in every country, like Ukraine and U.S. And Putin, salute you. Let's move on. Advertising. Tucker has done a service to humanity. The praise from a parody account is confusing. Yeah. And we got some ads. Oh, wait. It's freaking Elon Musk parody. Okay, we're moving on. I got tricked. All right, here's Shane. The best thing for you was getting fired from Fox News. Here we have Jackson Hinkle. Tucker's interview with Putin will be the most viral interview of all time because it is a conversation feared most by the pro-war establishment. Thank you for your bravery. Congrats from Damon. Can't wait for the fake stream media's unhinged take on it.
The only group shocked by what an independent journalist like Tucker is doing is the corrupt establishment propaganda media and activists like you. Now, just like our own politicians.
All right, that's Damon. He's always doing those funny takes from the WEF we saw earlier. Wow, was this for reals? Laugh my ass off. Here we go. Censored men. Smiles all around. Malcolm Flex. One thing is certain, this may be the most insight into Russia we've received since the United States ceased conducting proper journalism diplomacy with Russia. We are on the brink of a world war, yet we are not communicating with the country that offered immediate support after 9/11, providing us with the use of their bases and the Teardrop Memorial in New York City, located off Port Terminal Boulevard, as a gesture of consolation for the events transpired. They even reached out to President Bush personally despite opposition from many of his advisors. Since Oliver Stone's visit to Russia to interview Putin, we have not heard much stone-faced criticism for being soft on Putin. However, it's worth considering that even if Russia were an outright enemy, maintaining a degree of tactical empathy is crucial. Now let's move on. Yeah, here's a good one from Marjorie Taylor Greene. Tucker Carlson is not suicidal. We need to protect Tucker. And here's a good meme with a picture of Biden with like a suit on and a gun, right? His bulletproof vest. And it says from Matt Wallace, the same psychopaths who get rich off endless foreign wars would never pick up a gun and actually do the fighting for the countries they claim to support. Well, of course not, yes. Here's from Jackson Hinkle. Tucker has balls of steel, and I respect that. Here's a good one, and from Vince Langman. Meanwhile, our guy confused the presidents of Mexico and Egypt tonight.
I want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian material to get in. I talked to him. I convinced him to open the gate. I talked to Bibi to open the gate on the Israeli side. As you know, initially, the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian material to get in. I talked to him. I convinced him to open the gate.
Yeah, there you guys. Senile Biden can't read the script, guys. He goes off script a little bit, and he's just in Wonderland. Here we have from Dave Benner. Like all wars, they've been lying to us about Ukraine the entire time.
Populations don't like wars, and populations have to be fooled into wars. Populations don't willingly and with open eyes go into a war. So if we have a good media environment, then we will also have a peaceful environment. One of the hopeful things that I've discovered is that nearly every war that has started in the past 50 years has been a result of media lies. And the media could have stopped it if they had searched deep enough, if they hadn't reprinted government propaganda. They could have stopped it.
Yeah.
But what does that mean?
Moving on. Another attack at the memory of Biden in comparison to Putin. The scariest thing about the Putin interview is he gave a 30-minute, 1,000-year history of Russia with precise dates. Meanwhile, Biden can't even remember when he was vice president. Bam. All right, here's we haven't seen too many. We got some extreme left bots or whatever you want to call them. 3-year Letterman says, replying to Tucker, This video is making me shake with rage and punch my phone screen. Well, there you obviously then you have a problem already. It is literally illegal and a violation of our NATO treaty for you to interview a communist leader of a communist country. Delete this or suffer the legal consequences. You know, that kind of reminds me of, like, we've actually seen video of the Canadian dictator Trudeau talking to Xi Jinping of China. Here we have NATO's General Secretary flat out admitting what were called conspiracy theorists for saying that Putin, invaded Ukraine because NATO refused to agree to stop expanding.
President Putin declared in the autumn of 2021, and he actually sent a draft treaty that he wanted NATO to sign to promise no more NATO enlargement. That was what he sent us. And that was a precondition for not invade Ukraine. Of course, we didn't sign that. The opposite happened. He wanted us to sign a promise never to enlarge NATO. He wanted us to remove our military infrastructure in all allies that have joined NATO since 1997, meaning half of NATO, all the Central and Eastern Europe. We should remove NATO from that part of our alliance, introducing some kind of E and B or second-class membership. We rejected that.
And we'll finish up this little look over here. Another great comment quote from, these are all just, to make a good comment on X, all you have to do is take a quote from Putin. Here it is. If America stops sending weapons to Ukraine, the war would be over in 2 weeks. Vladimir Putin. All right, guys, this is Ernie Racing. Let me know if you want to do more of these. I'm sure they're endless. And stay tuned for the full interview on my channel. Maybe I should put on the other channel, Ernie Racing News, or I should put on the Canadian Journalist. I'm afraid of what could happen, what's coming. I still see the interviews are still out on Carlson's actual YouTube. So I don't know. Maybe I'll decide what channel to put on. I'll let you know.